First up, you have not been able to turn on the TV in the past 24 hours without seeing Syria, Syria, Syria. The White House Chief of Staff, Dennis McDonough, went on 5 Sunday morning talk shows yesterday to build support for a military strike. Today, President Obama is giving interviews to ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, PBS, and Fox News, all before addressing the nation about Syria tomorrow night. Alyssa, let's kick this off with you. What do you make of these? This is one of those weird cultural moments where the entire political media sphere and Twitterverse and blogosphere gets sort of consumed by one subject. Are you Syria'd out yet?
I'm not Syria'd out, but I do have to say I think the most interesting piece I've seen written so far came from BuzzFeed, and someone posted it on Facebook, and it was basically just the dumbed down, what do I need to know about Syria? What's actually happening? And it was steps, 1 through 6 or 7, and at the bottom it said, I actually scrolled all the way to the bottom, please just give me the gist of what's going on. Which I think, there is so much going on that it's hard for people to sort of grasp. But no, I'm not Syria'd out yet. I think, we still have a lot to get to the bottom of.
I mean, the question is whether or not the cultural discourse is doing a service to that, or whether or not people are so entrenched in their own presuppositions about whether to go in or not, that there's a lot of heat and not terribly much light. I mean, I was looking at my Twitter feed earlier this morning, and I mean, the number of people who are so entrenched in their opinions who either think that I'm evil or a benevolent genius, it's like there's nothing really that I could say, certainly not in 140 characters or less, that's going to contribute anything meaningful to the conversation. But Soraya, what do you think about where the culture is with regards to something like this, where there's a major national security or foreign policy crisis?
You mean the media culture?
Yeah.
And how? I mean,
and also, I guess social media as well.
Well, I think that this is kind of par for the course, right? We prep ourselves, we prepare to get the information that by and large we know is coming our way. The way our media is niched just lends itself to what you just described, right? We live in sort of atomized media categories where we consume largely just what we want to hear. And that's really dangerous. And that's just a function of the niching of our media and the way that technology exacerbates that. So I think probably we could do with a much healthier dose of cross-pollination of ideas. That's what we're missing. And the people who are chatting online tend to be among the more opinionated. That doesn't necessarily mean the more informed.
That's true. How do you achieve greater cross-pollination? I mean, do you have any ideas? It sort of dismays me a little bit, because I remember at the dawn of the internet age, when everyone was going online, we had this idealistic vision of a future where everyone would be able to communicate with everyone else, and there would be no more ignorance, because all people everywhere would be able to exchange ideas, and we would all be able to put ourselves in each other's shoes. But as you say, instead of that happening, what's happened is we've created a bunch of little fiefdoms where we remain within our own little echo chambers, and it's actually more difficult to be on the same page in a way that we were when everyone read the New York Times and watched Walter Cronkite.
Yes, I don't know that there's any simple solution to that. I think individuals really need to go out of their way to seek out opinions and content that they're uncomfortable with, actually. And I just think most people are disinclined to do that. We tend to be lazy in our media habits, and we don't have a lot of time, and so I don't know that there's a simple answer to that. I just think that it's actually quite dangerous to having an informed electorate.
Wendy, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the president has a tough job ahead of him. It's, I'm a theater critic, so he's got to put on a great performance and convince everyone to be on his side. And I don't know. I heard on CNN today 59% of the American public is against, any action on Syria. So I think he's definitely headed for an uphill battle. All you can do really is read as much about it as you can. And, I'm sure people are very busy contacting the representatives on both sides. As Soraya said, whoever is posting about it on Facebook or Twitter is, probably among the more extremes, everyone.
And I'm sure the people who are picking up the phone and contacting their congressman are also probably more enthusiastic, clearly, than people who don't bother to do that.